Take a day off. Take a day off.
一日休みを取る。
I take a day off whenever I feel exhausted. She will take a day off next Monday to visit her parents. He took a day off yesterday because he had a fever. I am taking a day off today to relax at home. She had taken a day off before the big project deadline to prepare herself. Go bankrupt. Go bankrupt.
倒産する、破産する。
The company went bankrupt after failing to secure new investments. If they keep spending recklessly, they will go bankrupt within a year. By the time they realized their mistake, they had already gone bankrupt. Many small businesses are going bankrupt due to the economic crisis. Unless they find a way to cut costs, they will have gone bankrupt by next quarter. Get on. Get on.
乗る、進む、仲良くする。
She got on the bus at the next stop. He is getting on well with his new colleagues. By the time we arrived, they had already gotten on the plane. She will get on the train at 3 p.m. How are you getting on with your project? Turn on. Turn on.
電源を入れる、人を引きつける。
She turned on the TV to watch the news. He was shocked when his best friend suddenly turned on him. By the time I arrived, they had already turned on the lights. She will turn on the heater before we arrive. The way he talks really turns me on. Look over. Look over.
にざっと目を通す、を確認する。
Could you look over this report before I submit it? My manager is looking over the documents right now. She looked over the contract carefully before signing it. I'll look over the notes later tonight. By the time he arrived, I had already looked over the proposal. Work on. Work on.
に取り組む、を改善しようとする。
I am working on a new project at the moment. He worked on his presentation all night to make it perfect. She will work on improving her communication skills. They are working on fixing the bug in the software. By the time you arrived, we had already worked on the budget plan. Take on. Take on.
を引き受ける、と対戦する。
She took on more responsibilities after her promotion. He will take on the challenge of leading the new project. The company is taking on new employees to expand its business. Our team took on a strong opponent in the final match. By the time he realized, he had already taken on too many tasks. Due to.
が原因で、のために。
The flight was delayed due to bad weather. Due to a scheduling conflict, the meeting has been postponed. She couldn't attend the event due to a family emergency. The store is closed today due to maintenance work. Many businesses suffered losses due to the economic downturn. Thanks to.
のおかげで。
Thanks to your help, we finished the project on time. She got the job thanks to her impressive resume. Thanks to modern technology, we can communicate instantly across the world. He recovered quickly thanks to the doctor's treatment. Thanks to her hard work, she passed the exam with flying colors. Instead of.
の代わりに。
We should walk instead of taking a taxi. She drank tea instead of coffee this morning. He chose to stay home instead of going to the party. Can I have salad instead of fries with my meal? Instead of complaining, why don't you try to find a solution? Fill out.
に必要事項を記入する、に書き込む。
Please fill out this form before the interview. he filled out the application for a new passport. She had already filled out all the necessary paperwork before arriving. I am filling out a survey for customer feedback. By the time he submitted the form, he had carefully filled out every section. Along with.
と一緒に、に加えて。
She sent a thank you note along with the gift. Along with English, he speaks French and Spanish. The new policy was introduced along with several changes in the company. I am working on this project along with my colleagues. He had to deal with financial issues along with other responsibilities. In charge of.
を担当している、の責任者である。
She is in charge of the marketing department. Who is in charge of organizing the event? He was put in charge of the new project. I will be in charge of training new employees. By the time the manager arrived, she had already taken charge of the situation. Come up with.
を思いつく、を考え出す。
She came up with a great idea for the new campaign. Can you come up with a solution to this problem? He came up with an excuse for being late. We need to come up with a new strategy to increase sales. By the time the meeting started, she had already come up with several proposals. On time.
時間通りに。
The train arrived on time despite the bad weather. Please make sure to be on time for the meeting. She always submits her assignments on time. If we leave now, we will get there on time. By the time the deadline came, he had already finished his work on time. In advance.
前もって、事前に。
Please let me know in advance if you are unable to attend the meeting. She booked the hotel room in advance to avoid any last-minute issues. We need to prepare all the documents in advance. He had completed the assignment in advance, so he could relax over the weekend. You should buy tickets in advance to secure a good seat. In person.
直接会って。
I prefer to discuss important matters in person rather than over the phone. She was excited to meet her favorite author in person at the book signing event. You need to submit the application in person at the office. He had never seen his colleagues in person since he started working remotely. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in person.